Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and with pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for joining on the occasion of Nityananda Trayodashi 2023. We're talking about Lord Nityananda today. Before we start, let's do some Mangalacharan prayers. Please everybody join in. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Satam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedant Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarane Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Urve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Hari Bol. Okay, so before I start, I'm just trying to open a little PowerPoint that I have. It is just to engage everybody's vision. I don't have too much information on the PowerPoint. So till then, let's hear something from everybody. What do you know about Nityananda Prabhu? Whoever knows, can you share?
He is the other avatar of Krishna.
Okay, of Krishna. Okay. Prabhuji, thoda sa galat hai.
No, everything is part of Krishna.
Everything is part of Krishna only.
Or specific.
So, who wants to share? One of the kids, maybe?
Okay, Avni knows. Avni, whether you know, who's Lord Nityananda?
Rebo, yes.
Rebo.
So did everyone hear? Avni said that Lord Nityananda is Lord Balram.
Okay. All right. That's good. What else? Anybody else wants to share?
Mataji, was he Chaitanya Prabhu's friend?
Yes. Yes. Very, very close associate, intimate associate, like a brother, right? So very
Yes.
good. Just like Krishna Balram. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu were inseparable. Okay, good.
Avni, you want to say something?
Yes.
Don't forget about that. If you want to say something, please say. Do you know anything about Lord Nityananda? What do you know about Lord Nityananda, Nagar?
Okay, I guess we'll just start. So, okay. So Nityananda Prabhu is, as one of you, I think Vedai, Vedai or Avni, somebody mentioned that he is none other than Lord Balram. So before we glorify Lord Balram, let me just say a quick few prayers to him. You feel free to join in because Lord Nityananda is supremely merciful, and to understand his tattva, understand his identity, his glories, his pastimes, his life, and his mercy even continues up to this day, right? Let's invoke his presence in this class among us and he's very merciful. So no matter how fallen we are, how many bad habits or whatever we have problems, anarthas, he will bestow his mercy. So let's invoke his mercy. Vande Nantat Adbhutaishwaryam Sri Nityanandam Ishwaram Yassechaya Tatswarupam Agyenapi Nirupyate. Let me offer my obeisances to Lord Nityananda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose opulence is wonderful and unlimited. By his will, even a fool can understand his identity. Sri Nityananda Pranam Mantra. Nityananda Maham Naumi Sarvananda Karam Param Hari Nam Pradam Devam Avdhuta Shiromanim. I bow down to the Supreme Lord Nityananda Prabhu, the crest jewel of all Avadhutas, who gives the topmost ecstatic bliss to all by freely distributing the holy names of Krishna. So that is the main pastime of Nityananda Prabhu, is to spread the holy names of Krishna. That is what he came for, to give the Harinam to everyone, no qualification needed. And actually we had a very vivid experience of that on our yatra this time when we went. Nobody is disqualified, whether it's a beggar on the street or whether it's businessman traveling in the car. Everybody gets Harinam. Everybody gets to chant Harinam. Everybody gets to read Bhagavad Gita. Everybody gets to eat prashadam. So that's the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu that is traveling even until today. It's not a small feat to think. If you think about it, in India, it is said, oh, only Brahmins can read Bhagavad Gita or can recite the verses or can chant the mantras or can take the Lord's name, because you have to be so pure, you have to be been born in such a family or have some education or whatnot. No such qualification needed. Everybody is a child of the Lord, and Lord Nityananda spread this everywhere. He knocked on each and every door. He went street to street, door to door, knocking on each and everybody's door. Please chant Harinam. He said, I'm a sannyasi, and sannyasis typically go door to door asking for alms, asking for food or grains, right? I'm not asking for any other alms. The only alms I'm asking is that you chant Harinam and get out of the misery of this world. Just serve Krishna, just surrender to the Lord. So this is his quality, and that is why he's called Avadhut Shiromani. Anybody knows the meaning of the word Avadhut? Online or in... Yes, Navya. Yes, a madman. He was considered a madman, Avadhut, because Harinam, Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Prasad, all this is supposed to be very, very valuable. It is a treasure. It was a secret, a treasure kept hidden by the top class, Brahmins of our communities and of our country. But he gave and distributed it to everybody. So he was an Avadhut, a madman, right? And the next is, this comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, very important verse that invokes not only just Nityananda Prabhu, but also the Panch Tattva. Panch Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. And one more, this is a very, very beautiful verse. Actually, some of you may have even memorized it. Has anybody memorized this verse? I know that it was given as a homework by Shubhalas Prabhu long time back. Okay, well, let's recite it and see what it says. Ajanulambe bhujau kankavadutau sankirtanaika pitarau kammalyastakshau vishwambarau dvijavarau yugadharmapalau Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karuna Avataro. I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, Lambita Bhujau, very long arms, who have golden yellow complexions, Kanak Avadhatao, so Kanak or golden complexion, who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus. They are maintainers of all living entities. They are the best of the Brahmanas, the protectors of the religious principles for this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. This is the first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat. 1.1.1. So this is not from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is from Chaitanya Bhagavad. Okay. So let's, before we go further, somebody mentioned that Lord Nityanand is nothing but Lord Balram himself, right? So let's understand a little bit about Lord Balram, and that makes it easy to understand who is Nityanand Prabhu, right? So Balram ji is, if we understand how the creation happens, how the manifestation of various expansions happen, he is the first expansion from Krishna, right? You know that Krishna is always just enjoying, right? He's a supreme enjoyer. He's just sitting in his Golok Vrindavan having pastimes with various devotees and gopis and gopas and Mother Yashoda. He's not coming around doing all the jobs of creating and maintaining. Yes, we call him creator, maintainer, sustainer, but he doesn't do those jobs manually himself, right? So think of like a big company like Amazon, right? Everybody uses Amazon. So does the Amazon CEO come and drop the boxes to each of your doorstep? No, right? But he's still the boss, right? So similarly, the whole company is running. Somebody's driving the trucks, somebody's dropping the boxes, somebody's taking the orders, somebody's doing whatever finances and yes, right? So many things. I don't understand too much about business, but there is a CEO and he's actually just sitting in his office and just signing off on various agendas and orders and ordering people, you do this, you do that, right? Similarly, Krishna, being the supreme enjoyer, he's just having fun and having his pastimes, right? He's not individually checking, okay, इस बंदे के कर्मा इतने हैं, इसको ये पाप लगेगा, इसको ये पुण्य मिलेगा, he needs to go to this destination, or this material creation needs to be annihilated now, this universe needs to manifest now. No, he doesn't do all of that. He's enjoying. Otherwise, what is the point of being a supreme enjoyer if you have to do all this burdensome work? I think they need to be separated. So in this way, he has various expansions that take care of various functions, right? And the first expansion is Lord Balram himself. So from Lord Balram, what are the next expansions that come? The Chaturvyu, yes. Can you name them? Okay. Let me pull up. I have a slide somewhere. Okay, this is the slide. So okay, so Lord Krishna, the first one is Baldev or Balram, you see, right? And from Balram comes the 4 expansions, which is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. From Sankarshan comes Narayan, and there are many, many Narayan forms, right? In each Vaikuntha planet. Remember that Narayan is the worshipable deity of each Vaikuntha planet. So Narayan along with Lakshmi ji, right? They reside in each Vaikuntha planet and they are the worshipable lords there. So that is the next expansion from Sankarshan. From Narayan comes the second Chaturvyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And then comes the 3 Purusha Avtaras. So the 3 Purusha Avtaras are the Mahavishnu or Karnodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and the Shirodaksha Vishnu, right? Sorry, I lost the slide. Here. So the Mahavishnu or Karnodaksha Vishnu is the one who lays in Karna ocean, and from his pores of his body, universes come out. With each breath, universes come out, and when he inhales, universes go inside again, get annihilated. So they manifest, they get created when he exhales, and when he inhales, all the universes. So within one breath, our entire creation and annihilation happens of so many universes, right? That is Mahavishnu. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the expansion from Mahavishnu, which enters into each universe and maintains it. And from Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the Paramatma or Shirodaksha Vishnu, which enters into each and every living entity, right? So he accompanies us, he guides us from within. He is the one that gives us intelligence, the forgetfulness, the what is good, what is bad, the common sense, the intuition, right? So that all comes from Shirodaksha Vishnu. So all of this creation, all of this is happening from ultimately Lord Balram. Lord Balram is the source of all of these expansions and plenary expansions, plenary portions, portions of plenary portions, and incarnations. All of them are coming from Lord Balram, right? So Lord Balram is doing such an amazing service for Krishna. So then somebody can say, okay, you said Balram is the first expansion from Krishna. So is there any, and they're always together. You can see in this picture, they're always together. Is there any difference between the two? Are they completely same? I say that they're very much same. They are both Supreme Personality of Godhead. They both have inconceivable amount of opulences and qualities and abilities and whatnot, right? Wealth and fame and name and everything. So in that respect, they are all the same. There is absolutely no difference, right? They are the fountainhead of everything. They are the cause of all causes. They are the creators of all creations and masters of all masters, right? Proprietors of everything. So there is no difference. There, everything is unlimited and everything is equal in both of them. So then what is the difference between the two? And I alluded to that just a little bit, but what I want somebody else to try. Vinita, would you like to try? What is the difference between the two?
Well, I guess Krishna is like the original.
Okay. So being original, yes, he's the original. So he's the enjoyer, right? He's the supreme enjoyer, right? And Balram ji is the supreme servant, right? So Krishna has the mood of receiving the service. He has the Sevya Abhiman, meaning he always receives service, right? Everybody serves him. So he's the Lord always. Whereas Balram ji is the perfect servant always. He always serves. He has the Sevak Abhiman. He's the perfect servant possible, right? Any services that are happening in this world, anything you think, oh, I'm doing this service, I'm doing that service, that happens by the mercy of Balram ji, right? So he's the perfect servant. So that is one difference, that one is the Lord, other is the servant, even though they are still the Supreme Personality of Godhead as far as we are concerned. And then there is another difference, which you can see in the picture. Just by looking at them, can you tell a difference? Their color, their complexion, right? Because Lord is a person. Lord is not just some effulgence, Lord is not just some impersonal effulgence that we merge into. Liberation is not just merging into the darkness or light or something, right? No. Liberation or mukti is basically associating with the Lord, serving him eternally, right? Enjoying with him in his eternal pastimes. That is the true mukti. So that person has a complexion. That person has some body features. And what is the complexion of Krishna? It is dark blue. It is a bluish black complexion. It is described as a Neel Meghasham. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Amazing. Neel Meghasham, like a bluish black monsoon cloud. Megh means cloud, right? So a dark cloud. Why is that monsoon cloud dark? Because it is full of water, right? So Neel Meghasham means the cloud that is full of water. Freshly formed rain cloud, a monsoon cloud. And so what is the complexion of Lord Balram? Huh? Yeah, whitish, right? White. So it is white. It is like the color of a spring cloud. Freshly formed spring cloud is very white, right? Very fulgent, very white. And both are still supremely beautiful, still inexplicably, inconceivably have unlimited amount of divine beauty, right? So in this world, we divide based on complexion and all, but our two lords have two completely opposite complexions, and they are, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that tells you that how in our world things are so distorted, like everything is perverted, whereas both those complexions, both those lords are supremely worshipable to us. So this is the difference between the two lords. Okay, then we talked about, let's talk about, yes, Navya.
Is there nothing different that Lord Balram does in the fasting?
He does. He has his own gopis. Yes. Yes. Okay. So this was the tattva. Tattva is basically the identity, the spiritual identity of a person. Like, what is our tattva? So what is our tattva? Jiva, Jeev tattva, right? We are not Bhagavad tattva. We are not Vishnu tattva. We are Jeev tattva. So Balramji is Vishnu tattva, right? Balramji is Bhagavad tattva. He's this is his spiritual identity. Our spiritual identity is that we are part and parcel of the Lord, that we are servants of the Lord eternally, right? That is our tattva, our identity. So tattva means the position, the substance, the spirit, the swaroop of a entity. So that is tattva of the Lord Nityananda or Lord Balram. And we talked about his mood is that of service. And then what else is, what other services does he do? That's not his only service. We said that any services that anybody is able to do. So if you want to serve Vaishnavas, which Vaishnav Seva is the topmost process of devotional service, right? Without Vaishnav Seva, there is no hope of making any progress in devotional life. Everybody agrees with that, right? Actually, Vaishnav Seva feeds into our chanting. It is what feeds into our reading and hearing, right? So any seva that anybody does happens by the mercy of Lord Balram. So what are some other sevas that he does? Huh? Kirtans, okay, yeah, yes. He's the mridang, right? He's the mridang. So basically, Lord Balram serves Krishna in many, many moods. He serves in all 5 rasas. Like, we are jivas, we are very infinite, we are infinitesimal, right? So we have very, very small seva. We have, when we obtain our spiritual identity, we probably serve in one rasa. Somebody may have a Sakya ras, somebody may serve in Dasya ras, somebody may serve in Madhurya ras. Like that, we will obtain our spiritual identity, right? But Lord Balram, being infinite and infinite service that he does, he serves in all rasas. So he serves in all 5 rasas. Okay, he serves in, and who can name the 5 rasas? Then we'll talk about the services. Let's start from the lowest rung of the ladder. And each rasa, it's not like lowest or top. Each rasa is the best for that devotee, right? But still, in our scriptures, the rasas are given a gradation. So can you go from the lowest to the top based on the... Okay, so the first one is Shantras, right? Then comes Dasya, then Sakyaras, yes. So there are 5 prime rasas, right? Okay, 5 prime rasas, and there are many secondary. We're talking about 5 prime rasas. You started with Shant, Dasya, Sakya. Madhurya is the topmost. One more. Vatsalya, right? Is everybody able to hear on the Zoom?
Yes, Mataji.
So 5 prime rasas, right? From the lowest lowest rung is the Shantras, then Dasyaras, then Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuryaras, right? So Lord Balram serves in all 5 rasas. Okay, we say Gopi serve in Madhuryaras, right? Gopas serve in Sakyaras. Arjun served in Sakyaras, right? What about an example of Dasyaras? Hanumanji, okay. What about somebody can give an example of Shantras?
Lord Balram has all the kirtan materials, all the paraphernalia of the Lord, all the dham itself.
Okay. Yeah. So Lord Balram serves in Shantras because he manifests as the dham itself, right? The Vrindavan dham, that is nothing, or any dham, a temple is nothing but a manifestation of Lord Balram, right? So it is said that Vrindavan is actually, Golok Vrindavan is in the shape of a lotus, right? And what is the quality of a lotus? That it closes at night and opens in the day. We saw some lotuses in Mayapur this time, very, very beautiful pink lotuses that were closed early morning, and some were in different stages of opening. So they open in the daytime, right? So that is how Golok Vrindavan is. Why? Because in the daytime, Kansa Maharaj will send all these demons to chase after Krishna. So the lotus expands, and so the distance between demons and Krishna increases. So they're chasing after Krishna, but they cannot catch him because Balramji has expanded the dham so much that they keep running after him. They get tired and cannot catch him, right? And then in the night it closes. Why? Because gopis and Radharani have to meet Krishna. So everything is very close by, so they can meet Krishna. So in this way, he expands the dham, the temple, the altar of the Lord, the paraphernalia of the Lord, the flute of the Lord, the mridang that devotees play, the shoes that Krishna wears, the dress that Krishna wears, right? All the dress, all the jewelry that Krishna wears, it's nothing but Lord Balram. So Balram expands all of that, all the paraphernalia, everything that is serving in Shantras, right? All the trees of Vrindavan, everything expands, is expansions from Lord Balram. So it is said that, you know, we wear, what brand do people like to wear? Adidas, Adidas. But who's the original Das? Adi Das is Lord Balram, is the original Das. So Krishna also likes to wear the Adi Das. He wears only Adidas Balram brand, right? That's the brand he wears. And then let's talk about the next one. So then comes the Dasyaras. Lord Balram, right? He presses Krishna's feet. He does pankha to him because, oh, my younger brother is so tired after watching the cows and whatnot. So he will wash his feet. He'll press his legs. He will do the pankha to him and whatnot. In Sakyaras, how does he engage with Krishna? Yes, Navya, you want to answer? He plays, he teases, right? He creates so many naughty pastimes to do with Krishna, right? He gets Krishna in trouble. That's what friends do, right? They get each other in trouble, especially with Yashoda Maya. He will say, oh, did you know that that Krishna ate dirt? So that Mother Yashoda will have to open his mouth and look inside, right? So in this way, he teases, he tells Krishna, you know, you don't look like Yashoda Maya or Nand Baba. You must be adopted, right? which he is, but Krishna doesn't know that. So he just teases Krishna, you must be adopted. You don't look like Yashoda Maya or Nand Baba. So like that, as a friend, he teases him. Vatsalya Ras, how does he engage in Vatsalya Ras? He takes care of him, right? Mother Yashoda actually depends on Balram to look after Krishna when he goes to for shepherding the cows and all. She relies on him, so he watches after Krishna. He takes care of him as parents do, right? And then in Madhurya Ras, how does he serve in Madhurya Ras? We thought only gopis serve as in Madhurya Ras. Can Lord Balram serve in Madhurya Ras? Can he participate in the rasa dance, and can he engage in conjugal pastimes? Yes. Lord Balram does all the services. These are all the services. These are just the moods of devotees. Any mood is not spared because Lord Balram does all. He's the fountainhead of all the services. So what does he do? He expands as Anang Manjari. Anang Manjari is a sister of Radharani, and in that way he engages in Madhurya Ras also with Krishna. So these are various rasas that which one jiva can very minimally participate in one rasa, very, very partially, and he does completely, unlimitedly, infinitely in all rasas. And then there are so many secondary rasas that we're not even talking about today, right? And when all this service is done, if there is any leftover service, he does that also as Sheshnag, as Anant Shesh, right? Shesh means, in Hindi, it means leftover, right? So any leftover service also he does, whatever is leftover. So you pray to Balram, you pray to Lord Nityananda that, you know, this is all I could do for my service. This is all I could manage. This is all my ability allows me. Please, you do the rest. Please, you take care of the rest of the service, because he's the Anant Shesh, right? I could only do this much in the Kirtan. I could do only this much in the Prasadam. Please, you take care of the rest. So he's the Anant Shesh. He takes care of rest of the services. And we already talked about how he serves as Mahavishnu, right? He creates. He's actually the creator of this universe. He's the maintainer. He's the sustainer. He's the destroyer of the universe. We think that, okay, Krishna does, yes, but Krishna, how does he do all these services? By expanding as Balram. So it's actually Lord Balram who is doing all these services. And then there is one more important service left, which is very relatable to all of us, which is the key for us, is the service that Lord Balram does as Guru Tattva, right? So Lord Balram expands as Guru Tattva. He manifests himself through all these gurus, through Prabhupada, through all our Goswamis, through all our Acharyas, right? He manifests through the spiritual master, through the Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. And what is the service there? To take the jivas back to Krishna. So all the lost souls that have strayed away, that have become rebellious and are stuck in this material world, they are taken away by the Guru Tattva. Yes, Navya.
You were saying about Dasyaras. Because we get tired of serving Lord Ram. So then he said, next time I'm going to be your older brother. That way I don't have to serve you that much. Yeah, that's right. But he ended up serving anyways.
Haribo!
Thank you, Navya. That's a nice point. Yeah. So that means that Lord Balram is coming in different yugas, right? Okay. Haribol, let's continue. So that means Lord Balram is coming in different yugas also, right? He's coming in different yugas. Thumbs up. Okay. So he comes as Nityananda. He comes as in Treta Yuga. What does he come as? Everybody participate. I can't hear. Okay. Yes, he comes as Lord Lakshman. You're right. You know everything. So just yeah. Okay. Perfect. So in Treta Yuga, he comes as Lakshman. In Dwapar Yuga, of course, himself, right, as Lord Balram. So what is the qualities? Let's talk about some services that Lakshman does. You've all read Ramayana. So Lakshman ji in Treta Yuga, how did he serve Mother Sita and Lord Ram? Yes. He gave up his sleep. He would build those thatched huts for them during Vanvas, right? And I mean, imagine Lord Ram and Mother Sita were told to go to Vanvas, right? Any other brother in this Kali Yuga would be happy. Oh, yay. Okay, older brother is going on Vanvas. I get all the position, I get all the fame and money now. I can just enjoy, right? Okay, you go. Bye-bye. And he didn't have to go with Lord Ram at all. Lakshman didn't have to go because only wife was required to go, right? But he went because he wanted to serve. He lived this life of austerity for those 14 years. Imagine, he wore the tree bark. He wore tree bark. He would go without shoes, walking on thorns and pebbles and whatnot. He would build those thatched huts. He didn't eat or sleep in those 14 years, right? And even then, he got the blame when Mother Sita was taken away. First, he blamed him. And then when she was taken away, Lord Ram also got upset at him that you didn't take care of my Sita. So he took that all, right? And this is Lord Lakshman, who's actually a very angry young man, right? But when it came to the service of the Lord, how humble, how tolerant, how focused, how surrendered he was, right? But he was an angry young man. When it required, he would fight for the Lord also, right? He got so upset at Shrupnaka because she was being inappropriate with Mother Sita and with Lord Ram, trying to steal, trying to harm Mother Sita. So he cut her nose, and sometimes it's said he cut her ears off too, but mostly nose, right? So that is imagine Lord Lakshman's services, right? And then we talked about Lord Balram services. We talked about in Vaikuntha, Sheshnath services. We talked about in this material world Mahavishnu services, right? So then imagine when this supreme personality of Godhead, this Krishna, Lord Krishna, who's supremely merciful, who's our father, who's our proprietor, who's our well-wisher, who's our creator, who's our best friend, right? He realizes that nothing is working. These jivas are just stuck in this material world. Then he decides to come in Kali Yuga as the most magnanimous, most munificent, most merciful avatar of all time, right? Sab avatara sara shiromani, right? Parama karuna pahudui jana. So they're full of, he's full of mercy, Param Karuna. That Supreme Lord comes in Kali Yuga as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, or Nimai Vishwambara, right? And this Lord Balram enters into Kali Yuga to serve this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this most merciful Lord, again in the mood of service, mood of loving transcendental service as Lord Nityanand. So this is our great Lord Nityanand, whose appearance day we are celebrating. Nityananda Trayodashi is basically the appearance day of Lord Nityanand. Nityanand Prabhu ki Jai. Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So let's see online. Does anybody have any reflections, realizations, questions, anything to share about this so far? And if you're okay, we'll continue a little bit about the quickly about the life and the work of Nityanand Prabhu. Namita Mataji, you want to share anything?
Hey, Mataji, it's really good to hear this. Thank you for doing this special session.
Mataji, you want to share anything about Nityanand Prabhu? Or anybody else wants to share?
Mataji.
So I pulled up this very beautiful, this is a verse. It says, Vedera pratigya rakhi bara tare, rukma varna vipra suta, Mahaprabhu name nadiya mataya, sange bhai avadhuta. This verse is saying that Vedera pratigya, Vedas have taken a promise, Vedas have foretold, have predicted that Rukma Varna, golden complexion, Vipra Suta, son of a Brahman, whose name will be Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu Name, will come in the land of Nadia Mataya, in the land of Nadia he will come. And who will accompany him? Sange Bhai Avadhuta. And along with him will come an Avdhut, a mad person, who will be Nityanand Prabhu, right? So this is the prediction of Vedas, that Nityanand Prabhu will come like this. And there are many predictions, because sometimes some folks question the identity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, whether they're really Krishna and Balram, just because we have not been taught. But again, my response to that is that we have not been taught anything actually. From childhood, we've not been taught Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or anything. So really, it's not a measure that if I don't know something, actually I don't know many things. So I don't know something is not really the reason to find faults with the scriptures, but it is just it should be taken as an opportunity to expand your knowledge about the scriptures then. So in Kali Yuga, the avatar of Lord Krishna is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's accompanied by Lord Balram. And so I pulled up some verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita about this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balram is his second body. These two are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Sarvavatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tanahara Dvitya Deha Shri Balaram Ekai Swarup Done Bhinna Matra Kaya Adaya Kaya Vyuha Krishna Leela Rasahaya. So these are just more verses. Say Krishna Navdvipe Shri Chaitanya Chandra, say Balram Sange Shri Nityananda. That original Lord Krishna appeared in Navdvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has compiled this literature, is paying obeisance to Nityananda Ram. He's saying, may Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Sheshnag, and Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. So the same thing that we talked about, but I wanted to give some scriptural references, because unless we back our philosophical understanding and the emotions that we are portraying with some verses, it's just emotions, right? It's not valuable until there is some scriptural references to that. So these are some of the references here. Okay, so then about little bit quickly about the life of Nityanand Prabhu. Who knows where he was born?
Bengal Mataji, right?
Yes, Mataji, West Bengal. Can you specify in what part of West Bengal?
That I'm not sure.
Okay. Yes. Ek Chakra Dham. Yes. So Nityanand Prabhu appeared in Ek Chakra Dham. What do you know about Ek Chakra? The name Ek Chakra tells you anything? So yeah, Ek Chakra means there are, so in Mahabharata, anybody remembers a story about Ek Chakra? Ek Chakra. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. That one also, that is also referred to as with this story, that when Krishna picked up that wheel and threw it, the wheel fell in this place. But that's one. But what about another one? Ek Chakra, about Bhima. So remember Bhima, not Bhima, Queen Kunti and Pandavas, they were hiding in a village called Ek Chakra. Remember? And that village was called Ek Chakra because it was being demonized by this demon called Vritasura, who said, who every month or every year, something, every month I think, he demanded Ek Chakra, matlab jo wo cart hoti hai na, badi si cart, Ek Chakra full of food, and whoever the driver is, he'll eat that, right? So he'll eat the driver and the food full on the cart. That's why it was called Ek Chakra. So, and you know the story, how Bhima defeated and everything. He ate the food on the chakra and then he defeated the demon also, right? But that place is Ek Chakra Dham in West Bengal, where Nityananda Prabhu appeared. And his parents were Brahmins, right? His father was Hadai Pandit and mother was Padmavati. Anybody knows the names of Mahaprabhu's parents? Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata, right? And so Nityanand Prabhu's, they were also Brahmins, right? So Nityanand Prabhu's parents are Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. I'll very quickly tell the story because we have talked about this before, but Nityanand Prabhu appeared about 12 years before Gauranga. So he's 12 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He did many pastimes in Ek Chakra village, right? Many beautiful pastimes, just like Lord Balram's were or Krishna's were as a kid. Very intimate pastimes with his friends. And he used to enact all the Krishna's pastimes, like they're killing the demons, killing different demons with his friends, with details, with very intricate details. And he was very young at that time. And so adults, all the grown-ups will wonder, how does Nityanand, who's so little, he has not read anything, we have not taught him these pastimes, how does he know all this? How does he know these pastimes? So do you know what he answered? He said, he would tell, no, he said, these are my pastimes, right? That's why I know all the details, which demon was killed, like what, where did they come from, all this. These are my pastimes. So he knew all the details. So anyways, he regaled the heart of Ek Chakra Vasis for a long time, till 12 years of age. And then at 12 years of age, a traveling sannyasi came. And this sannyasi came to take Nityanand Prabhu with him. He said, he told Hadai Pandit that, I'm a sannyasi, I need a lot of services on road, like in forest and all. I'm a very old man. I need somebody to help me with food and help me with different things. I get sick, I'm not able to walk, see very clearly now. So I need a young helper. And please give me your son. And Hadai Pandit, of course, in those days, sannyasis were very revered. So if somebody, a sadhu came to your house, you would follow the proper Vaishnava etiquette, right? And at the end of the visit, you will ask them, how may I serve you? Because we talked about this, Vaishnava saving the topmost, right? So he would ask, how do I serve you? And he said, if you want to serve me, please give me your son, right? That's the only alms I'm asking, give me your son. And Hadai Pandit got very, bewildered by this, very baffled by this, because this is his only son and he's very attached to him. The whole Ek Chakra Gram is attached to Nityananda Prabhu, to little Nitai, because they actually were so attached, they were more attached to him than to their own kids. They loved him more than their own kids, which is, to us, it is inconceivable because we are very, we are not Dhamvasis, we don't have that consciousness. But we have very, Dehatmika buddhi, but they're not like this, right? So to them, Nitai was their treasure, their life and soul. So Hadai Pandit said, I cannot do this. But the sannyasi said, if you can't give me this, one thing that I'm asking, then I'm with. So finally, they gave him Nityananda Prabhu, little Nitai, who went on this journey with the sannyasi, and actually he learned a lot. He went from Kanyakumari to Badrikashram. He went from Pandharpur, which is in the west, to Puri, Jagannath Puri in the east. So he went length and breadth and everywhere in India, right? And he met with sannyasis, he met with sadhus, he learned all the scriptures, he learned everything, and finally concluded that devotional service in the conjugal love is a topmost mood of transcendental loving service to the Lord. And finally, he resided in Vrindavan. And now he was just biding his time, waiting. You know what he was waiting for? What is Nitai waiting for? He has not met Mahaprabhu yet. So what is he waiting for? He's waiting to meet. He's waiting for Nimai to start, little Mahaprabhu to start his Harinam Sankirtan, to start the Sankirtan movement. The Sankirtan movement that Krishna is coming to start. He's waiting for that, right? So now he was about 20 years of, he was about 32 years of age. He spent 20 years traveling here and there. Mahaprabhu is about 20 years of age, and Mahaprabhu took Diksha from Puri and he started his Sankirtan movement. And the day he started his Sankirtan movement, Nityananda Prabhu rode. He rode with joy. He rode. He laughed that, okay, now I can meet my Nimai and I can assist him in his Sankirtan movement. And so he went to Navadvip where Mahaprabhu was. He met Nimai. So imagine the meeting between Nimai and Nitai. Imagine the Nimai who's golden avatar, golden complexion, right? He's the effulgence of the sun. And this Nitai who's whitish complexion, who's exuding the effulgence of million moons, right? Such a soothing aura that he had. And both of these, one, like a sun and the other like million moons, they meet and they embraced and they cried as if they have always known each other, which they have because they're Krishna Balram. And they cried and cried and they decided, they made a plan how to start the Sankirtan movement. And from then on started the great Sankirtan movement, the Prem Nam Kirtan, the Nagar Kirtans started in Navadvip and in everywhere, right? The explosion of Krishna Prem, where Nityananda Prabhu will go door to door, knocking on each and every door with Haridas Thakur. Okay, please take Harinam, please chant the names of the Lord, please serve Krishna, please surrender to the Lord, get out of this misery. What are you doing? Get out of this miserable material conditions of life, right? And he would beg to them to take names of the Lord. And this, he assisted Mahaprabhu in this. So I think we have just maybe 10 more minutes to go. So let's talk about one quick pastime, because this was my agenda to talk about the tattva, the life. This was the life. And the last thing is, let's talk about one pastime, which is a story, which everybody likes stories. So let's talk about one of the stories about the Lord. What is who knows their favorite story of Nityananda Prabhu? There are innumerable stories, but what is the favorite one? Or one story that everybody knows? Yes, Jagai Madhai. Yes, let's read that story. Let's hear about that story, right? So this is a picture, Harinam Sankirtan going on. And Mahaprabhu would say, or Nityananda Prabhu would say, Mukhe Hari Bolo Bhai, Ehi Matra Diksha Chahi, Nadiya Godrumi, Yananda Mahajana. Right? So this is how he would go. He would go in the land of Nadi on the island of Godrume. Actually, we had the opportunity to go on the island of Godrume this time and see where they started this Hare Krishna movement, the Naam Hatta. They started the Naam Hatta. So this is again just Harinam Sankirtan. This is by Narottam Das Thakur. He said, if one really wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. Okay, so the story of Jagai and Madhai. Okay, so I think most of you know this, but let's, I think it's for our own purification that we keep hearing these stories. Is that okay?
Yes.
Hari Bol, say Hari Bol. Yeah, I don't like it.
Haribo. Haribo.
Yeah, it should reach Nityananda Prabhu that we're discussing his pastime, right? Unless it reaches him, yes. Okay, so Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, upon the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to go everywhere and they will seek out these really, really fallen people, really, really sinful people, and try to give them the Krishna Prem, try to give them the mercy of Krishna, right? So they were told that there are these two ruffians, very abominable people, very sinful people. They're criminals. They're born as Brahmanas. Their names were like Jagdananda and Madhavananda, but they are so abominable that they break all the rules of the scriptures. They don't, they look at the scriptures, which rules to break and what sins we can commit, and they will commit those sins. So they had a full, list of sins going on, list of crimes going on that they were committing against each and everyone in Navdweep, right? And they were drunkards of the, they will be drunk at like 8 in the morning, they'll be drinking for breakfast. So like that, they were biggest ruffians of all time. So one day, Nityananda Prabhu told Haridas Thakur, let's approach this Jagai and Madhai. And Haridas Thakur said, Nitai, are you crazy? I was beaten in 22 marketplaces and I did not die. But if we approach these two criminals, we will be dead. So Nityananda Prabhu said, Haridas, just come with me. I have decided that I want to give them Krishna Prem. And Mahaprabhu has come in this age not to kill people, right? Not to kill the demons, because there is no way to kill. Everybody's a demon practically these days. There is no way to kill them. So we have to somehow make a strategy to bring Mahaprabhu to these people. That's the only way they will get Krishna Prem. So let's do something. So he approached Jagai and Madhai, and he started begging to them that please, you are part and parcel of Krishna. Please reconnect to Krishna. Please surrender to him. Please get yourself delivered from all miseries. But had no effect on them, right? What happens when you give milk to a snake? He still hisses, right? So even if you tell somebody what is good for them, if they are very sinful, very abominable, snake-like, serpent-like people like this, they will just retaliate, right? So what happened? They started chasing Nitai and Haridas Thakur. They said, how dare you tell us about all this? How dare you speak to us about Lord and all? Go away, and they started chasing him. Now they are big and bulky, so they are chasing after Nitai and Haridas, who are very lean and tall and whatnot. So they raced, and these two big, hefty people who are drunk, they're racing after Nitai and Haridas, chasing after them. And finally, of course, they lost the chase, and they were so angry. They're so angry. They don't know what to do with their anger, so they just started hitting each other. They have to slap somebody, so they just started punching and hitting each other. But anyways, Nitai and Haridas escaped that day. So Haridas said, Nitai, you are really crazy. You are an Avdut. And he went and complained to Advaita Acharya and Haridas. You know what Nitai did today? He approached to relieve them of their material misery. You know how that backfired. But then Haridas Thakur said, I know that since Nitai had decided to deliver them, they're already delivered, right? Because it's Nitai decides they're already delivered. So it's just a matter of time, right? So that is our position. So we should not think, oh, we are very big Vaishnavas or associate. We should think we are Jagai Madhai, which is practically what all of people in Kali Yuga are, right? Full of anarthas. It is said that in this context, it is said that in Satyug, good and bad used to live in different planets, right? Like Hiranyaksh and Varadev lived on different planets. In Treta Yuga, good and bad lived on the same planet with different countries, like Lord Ram and Ravan, right? In Dwapar Yuga, good and bad lived on the same planet, same country, in fact, same family, Kauravas and Pandavas, right? But in Kali Yuga, what do you think? Good and bad lives not only in the same planet, same country, same family, same person, right? So we are full of demonic qualities, and actually our demonic qualities supersede those of the good ones. That is why when we were reading that chapter 16, I was telling everybody, don't think that other people, this chapter is written for other people. They have these demonic qualities. If you are reading with that mood, you're not reading it right. You have to read it with the mood that I have these demonic qualities. If you're reading with that mood, then you will get some benefit out of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita should be read with that mood that I'm very fallen. That was the mood of our Vaishnavas. If anybody is thinking I'm very exalted, those people are bad, those people are sinful, those people get angry, those people get arrogant, I am very humble, I don't get angry, I'm not this, I'm this, then you're not going to get any benefit out of Bhagavad Gita, unfortunately. So this is the mood that we are full of demonic qualities. So then what happened? Next day, Nityananda Prabhu was not going to give up. He approached Jagai Madhai again. And this time, they were drinking from a clay pot, from an earthen pot, right? Full of liquor. So what happened? He again went and started preaching to them that please, accept the message of Mahaprabhu. Surrender unto him, right? He started teaching him again all of those things. And this time, Madhai, who was drinking out of that earthen pot, he got very upset. And what did he do? He took it and smashed it on Lord Nityananda Prabhu's head. This Nityananda Prabhu, who is the creator of all creations, who is the master of all masters, who is the cause of all causes, who is the perfect servant of the Lord, who is the supreme personality of Godhead himself, right? Who's assisting in all these pastimes, who's Mahavishnu, who's the creator, sustainer, annihilator of all universes. That Mahavishnu, that Nityananda Prabhu, he, Madhai, a small infinitesimal jiva who has no qualifications, no qualities, right? He took that earthen pot and broke it on the head of Nityananda Prabhu. Can you imagine? And what would happen? Nityananda Prabhu's plan succeeded. What would happen? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself came. You see this picture? He came. I don't know if you can see in the picture. Maybe next one here. And he has Sudarshan Chakra in his hand. And he grabbed Madhai. He said, okay, I'm going to kill him with my Sudarshan Chakra, right? But Nityananda Prabhu, look how Nityananda Prabhu is trying to stop him. He got in the way. No, Nimai, don't kill him. This is the function of Kalki Avatar. You're not here to kill him. You have to just kill the demonic tendencies of these people. You just give him prem. Just touch him, give Krishna prem. And Jagai, when he saw this sannyasi whom we have heard now, who came back again to give us the mercy of the Lord, Jagai's heart melted. Because, we all have this love for Godhead inside us, right? It just needs to be brought out by a pure devotee. And Nityananda Prabhu, when he brought it out, Jagai's heart melted. And Jagai grabbed the feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu that please spare me. Please spare me and give me the Harinam, give me the mercy of the Lord. And in this way, he was delivered at that time. And
Madhai was trying to stop, right?
Madhai was the one who broke the pot. So then he said, can you give mercy to Madhai also? But Mahaprabhu said, no way. But remember, we say Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation, but who's more merciful than Mahaprabhu? Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu, our Guru Tattva, our Guru, our pure devotees. They have the spiritual strength to forgive us, to tolerate everything, right? So he requested to Mahaprabhu on the behalf of Madhai, please let him go. Please give him Krishna prema as well. And so Madhai also got their mercy. And in a few days, they had joined the Harinam party for the Vaishnavas in Navadvip. They were singing at the front of the Kirtan party. They were dancing and singing at the front of the Kirtan party. The same fallen people who used to drink all the time, who used to commit all kinds of sinful offenses that I can't even name here in an association of devotees. We can't even talk about such offenses were being committed by them. So this was the mood of Nityananda Prabhu to give mercy. Even when Lord is angry with us, Nityananda Prabhu will not get angry. Nityananda Prabhu has so much patience, so much tolerance for us. He represents our Guru Tattva, right? And it's his decision that he said, Dina hina yata chila hari name udarila tara sakshi that who's the sakshi that Nityananda Prabhu can deliver us all? It's the Jagai Madhai. Just look at the tale of Jagai Madhai, right? And Prabhupada, in the same mood of Nityananda Prabhu, not only delivered 2 Jagai Madhais, but the whole Western world, right? And India, of course. And another thing it is said about our Prabhupada or our Guru Varga or Nityananda Prabhu, their mood is to spread this Harinam Sankirtan to all the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. And this is on the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what was his instruction? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prithvite achiyata nalayadikam sarvatra prachar haibe moranam. That make sure that on the whole Prithvi, pure Prithvi pe, chahe koi nagar ho, koi gram ho. Prithvi doesn't mean India. Prithvi means entire world. Sarvatra prachar haibe moranam. That my name will be spread all over the world. So that is the instruction of Mahaprabhu, which is carried out by Lord Balram. So I think we'll stop. Just a few verses here if you just want to read their translations. Can people take turns to read? I just have like few verses in the end. You all want to start one each? Yes, Prabhuji.
Flattering you 100 times, falling down on your feet. I'm speaking one thing. Please hear. What is that? Whatever nonsense you have learned, forget. This is our only solicitation, that you have learned all nonsense. Please forget. Try to hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and be perfect.
Say bold.
Very bold.
Okay, this past time we did not discuss, so I'll skip it. This verse we discussed. I think that's it. Okay, I had more verses, but we don't have time. So, but the mood basically of Nityananda Prabhu is to spread Mahaprabhu's instructions, spread Krishna's instructions from Bhagavad Gita everywhere. And all our acharyas follow that mood. They all say, Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishwasa Kori. It is said that if you are troubled by anything, any thoughts, any anarthas, right? Loudly chant, Gauranga Nitai, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Just chant Nitai Gauranga's name, right? Even more merciful than Hare Krishna is Nitai Gauranga's name. Just chant in your head. If somebody's something is going on, right? Just chant in your head, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. It is so powerful. The names of the 2 lords. And that is what all our acharyas also teach. The one song that Nirbhay Prabhu sang. Okay, I don't remember that one, but the other song says, Daya koro more nitai, daya karo more, agatira gati nitai, sadhu loke bole. Agatira gati nitai, जिसकी कोई गति नहीं है, जो अगति है, उसकी भी गति कौन है? निताय. अगतिरा गति निताय, साधु लोग बोले. साधु लोग बोलते हैं कि जिनकी कोई गति नहीं है, जैसे जगाय मधाय, उनकी गति is निताय. So always chant nitai, daya koro more nitai, daya karo more. Say that loudly. And the one verse that we read by Narottam Das Thakur in the beginning, He no nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna paite nahi. So without mercy of Radha, without mercy of Nitai, you cannot get Radha Krishna. Trila kori dharo Nitai pai. So with great determination, hold the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. And that is the last word of actually Prabhupada and all our Guru Varga, that hold the feet of Nityananda Prabhu, hold the feet of Guru Varga. Guru Varga is non-different. They are all expansions. They are all manifestations of Nityananda Prabhu. Balram means spiritual strength. So pray to Lord Balram, pray to Nityananda Prabhu to give us, so we can this path. I'll stop here. Would anyone else like to share anything? Yes, Namita Mataji.
Mataji, the one song which you just said, that with any struggles, just say Gornatai, shout like that. Can you share that on the group?
Yes, Mataji, I'll try to find that. You know, I realized while preparing for this class that our acharyas have written maximum songs about Nitai, even more than Radha Krishna. Maximum songs are written by Lord Nityananda. So there are so many songs. There is like plethora of songs. But yes, I'll try to share a few on the group.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Any questions from anybody? Reflections, realizations? Hare Krishna, Nana Prabhu, Mohit Prabhu, and I don't know who is with the iPad. But please, if you have any questions, please share. If not, we'll stop for today. And Nityananda Trayodashi is coming on Thursday. Fasting is recommended till noon. So please pray for the mercy of the Lord. Please pray that we may get proper guidance, proper Guru Varga to guide us, and spiritual strength to carry on with the various devotional practices, and that our sevas are done in the same mode as they're done by Lord Balram. Thank you so much for joining. Vancha kaltarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah.